Good afternoon. My name is Tammy Neal, and this is Tech Time Tuesday live from Branford High School. I am with some other teachers today, and we will be talking about Google Classroom. And I'll be doing a screen share again today. And so predominantly what you'll see is me sharing the screen and talking a little bit about how to get started in Classroom and possibly some best practices on creating documents and things, and going over some of the new updates that have come around with Google Classroom. So feel free to ask questions. Any questions on our YouTube page, I'll be more than happy to come back later and answer, or contact me at any time. I am a member of the Suwannee County School System, and my email is tammy.neal@suwannee.k12.fl.us. So with that, let's get over to Google Classroom, and we will start the screen share. Okay, so here we are in Google Classroom. Because we are a Google Apps for Education district, we automatically go into Classroom unless you have a separate account on the computer. So I also have a personal Gmail account, and so sometimes I have to go in and change to that account, and then my classes pop up. And if you don't have any classes, you'll get a screen. Let me swap over. You'll get a screen that looks like this. Your school account will be up in the corner, and there'll be a plus. Please make sure that you are signed in as a teacher. It is very easy to get signed in as a student if you've done trainings, and then IT will have to go in, if that's the case, and get you verified as a teacher and get you set up to where you can add classes in. So these are some of the classes that I am already using, and you can see some of the activities that we have coming up. I need to put some assignments in and things like that. But all you have to do to create a class is click the plus button. If somebody has already created a class, so if you're doing a professional development, you can join them, or you can create a class of your own. We're going to start from a scratch class, so we're going to create a class. We're going to give the class a name, and it can be named anything you want to name it. I would suggest you name it something so that you and your students can identify that class. If you have multiple classes that you want to have the same name, you can identify a section, but a section is not required. And you're going to click Create. And you're going to give it a few minutes to do its thing. And so when you create a class, it's going to put your name here. It's going to create a background image that I will walk through how to change that in just a little bit. If it's the very first class, you'll get a very, very short tour of Google Classroom. Again, we're going to call these the pancakes. The Google Classroom pancake. What Google calls this the stream. Facebook calls it a wall. Various programs call it various things, but Google calls it the stream. You'll see right down here is a code for your class. You can reset the code to get a new code, or you can disable it so people can't join your class. And so this class will be disabled and removed from my classroom later on. You're not going to be able to join this class. But you can use this code, and when a student logs in, where it said plus for us to create or join, a student would click join, and they would type this code in, and they would join your class. Once you have students join your class, you will see them here under the Student tab. You can give them the option of posting and commenting to the stream, where they can only comment on something that you've posted, or that only the teacher can comment or post. And again, right here, you can reset or disable that code. And many times it's not a bad idea to get in the habit of, once you know your class has been populated by all the students on your roster, go ahead and disable that. That keeps an accidental typing of a code from another school. So, you don't want somebody to accidentally populate into your classroom. So by disabling that, that would keep that from accidentally happening. Okay. And then you have an about page. An about page gives you many other options. You can give more information about your class. You can talk about where your class is held. All of these, as you can see, are optional. I don't know if you can see the very light words optional there. It tells you where the material is being stored for this class. So it's being stored in a Google Drive folder called Practice Class, which was what you named the class to start with. It also gives you the opportunity to come in and invite a teacher to share the class with you. So if there's more than one of you teaching a class, if you're co-teaching, or if you have a special needs student who you may want to have or need to have your co-teacher, your ESE teacher join that class so that they can see what's going on, you can invite a teacher to join the class. In fact, you can invite multiple teachers to join a class. So if there were several of you that wanted to run a book study or something like that, or do a multi-grade or multi-class project, you can create a class for that cross-curricular combination to take place. And all you would have to do is invite that teacher in. Once a teacher is invited in, they have the same rights to create, grade, monitor, comment on that class as you do. So be aware of that. This is also where you can add reference materials that you may need for your class. So let's say if you had a syllabus that you wanted the kids to be able to access year-round, you could attach that file. You could upload that file from a Google Drive. You could attach it as a YouTube video, or if you had a link, you could attach that link as well. So let me see if I can find something for us to share real quick. Going over to my drive off camera to see if there's a file there that I can share. Yep, there's a file there I can share. So I'm going to share something that's already in my Google Drive. So I'm going to go here. This is my drive. These are documents that I've created in my drive. I'm going to go ahead and share this untitled document. Notice it's there. I can click post. Now, any of my students who needed this untitled document that might be a syllabus for my class can go back here, open it, and see it at any time. It doesn't have to be connected to their drive. So I have created some videos in my Google Drive. I can share them here. The kids can see them from here. So all of those how-to things, I've got several how-to things that I've shared with my various classes on that I want them to be able to get to at any time. I don't want them to lose their place in the stream. So this is sort of like that toolbox of documents that you can use at any time. So going back to the stream, you will not see those posted here. They're in the About area. Okay, and like I said, you get a very basic tour when you start Classroom, when you start a new class, and that's your tour. And you can come back to it. It'll be at the bottom of your stream where you can come back to it at any time. But before we get to creating announcements or assignments, let's finish up the aesthetics. This is not a piano class. It's not a music class. So maybe this picture is not what I want. I can select a theme from any of the themes that they have already created. There are patterns that I can use. If I would prefer to use one of theirs, I can very easily click it, Select the class theme. There's my class theme. But one of the nice things they did is now I can upload a photo. So if I have photos, I can bring in a photo that I've taken and that's in my drive, or I can upload one from my classroom. So there's lots of things I can upload. Let's see. I find one that there was some that we used. Well, I don't see them to have one in this particular class, but you can upload a photo of yourself. Let's say you wanted a picture of your whole class up there. You could take that picture if you have those permissions from the parents and upload that photo. It could be a picture of a beautiful scene. It could be a picture of your doorway. It could be a picture of anything as long as you have it on your computer and you have the rights to it. You can now upload it and it becomes the header for your classroom. So I'm going to come back here to home for a second, and you can see that this particular class right here already had, I've changed the different headers to go with the different classes. So clicking back into class, I can now add an announcement to share with my entire class, which can be a file that I upload. It can be something from my Google Drive. It can again be a YouTube video, which in our district the students wouldn't be able to watch, but in some districts they can. A link to a particular website. Let's say that you were a culinary teacher, let's say, and you wanted them to go out and see a specific recipe. You could attach that right there as a bit of information. You can attach an announcement to any of your classes and post it one time, which is very, very useful if you want to remind everybody that there's an upcoming holiday or an early release day or whatever the issue is. If you wanted to send the message to all of your students, you can click all of your classes to send it to and send a message to all of them at one time. Tomorrow, RROW is an early release day. And now the post is saved. I can save this draft. This is a new feature. We didn't used to be able to save our drafts. We used to have to post it right then. But now we can save our drafts and come back to them later. But I'm going to go ahead and post this one so you can see what it looks like in the stream. And there it is. This particular class is set to where I can comment and my students can comment. So if I had students in this class, they could come down here and go, yip, yip, yippee, and all of that lovely stuff that they like to do when they think they get an opportunity to comment. Creating an assignment is just as easy. So you're going to click and title the assignment. Remember that the title of the assignment is also going to be the header in your spreadsheet that you get with the grades. So you do not necessarily want the title of the assignment to be huge, because then your column will be one of those big, tall, wrapped around everything columns. So you might want to have something as simple as lesson 1. And in the description, really give the information about what that lesson is about. In this lesson, we will, whatever you need it to say there, you have plenty of space there to say whatever you need to say. You can attach a document. Again, you can upload something from your Google Drive that you've already created. A YouTube video, a link. Again, I can assign it to lots of different classes. I can change the due date to whatever it is. And one thing I've noticed is automatically assigning the due date to be the day after you assign it. If you assigned it on a Friday, it would automatically set the due date to be the following Monday. That is a nice feature that Google's added in for us. But you can make this, years away if you wanted to, and Google would be fine with that. but I'm okay with it being set for the next day. You can actually set a time. Let's say you wanted to make sure this was done by the end of third block tomorrow. Well, for us, third block ends at 10:55 a.m. And I can set this to be exactly, it's due at that point in time. Now, Google will still let kids turn it in, and it will tell you that they've done it late. And then it is up to you whether to accept that for credit or not for credit. And again, you can save the draft or you can assign it. And I want to make sure I've only got this class assigned. I'm going to assign it to this class. Since I don't have any students in class, none of them have done it, and none of them haven't done it yet. But you can see here that you have some editing features. You can edit the assignment, add things to it. You can also delete the assignment. You can add comments to it. The students in this particular situation, because I have it set to where they can comment, they can also comment, which is a good place for them to give feedback to each other, or request help from each other even. Guys, I'm needing help with this assignment. I don't understand what to do in step 4 of lesson 1, and they could give feedback back and forth to each other right there so that everybody could see it. So that is one of the nice features about Google Classroom, is that the students can comment if the teacher wants them to. So let's say we've got this assignment out there. We can come right here, go down to assignments. It shows me all of the assignments that I have coming up, but I just want to see the assignments for practice class. I can see how many have gotten it done. If I had students here, it would give me the option of changing their grade to any. These are the standards that they give you, but you can also change this. Let's say that I actually wanted this to be, for some strange reason, I wanted this to be a 46-point assignment. Yep, I know that everybody that's received grades will be notified. Nobody has yet. It's cool. And now when I enter a grade, I'm going to get 46 points will be the baseline for all of the students. So it really, they've made it very user-friendly so that we can adjust it to what we need it to be. The other thing that you can get is when you have multiple assignments and you actually have students there, you can click download and it will download all of the assignments for the class in a spreadsheet. So it's a Google Sheet. It opens in your Google Drive, or you can have it download as an Excel spreadsheet, either way. But it's something that you can save and say, this is how you're getting your grades. So do we have any questions at this point? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this session up. I appreciate you guys being here. If you have questions about Google Classroom, don't hesitate to ask. I am really excited about this, and I think it's going to be very useful and user-friendly as they move forward. So let's see, let me go do this. So here I am, guys. Thank you so much for being with us today. We'll get together next time for Teacher Tech Time, Tech Time Tuesday. And I am Tammy Neal, and this is Branford High School.